But since we getting into that, bro, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring these up. Well, I'm gonna do it in this order. PBC apparently Showtime and PBC about to split.
Didn't know that.
Now, since y'all didn't see that, what do y'all think the reasons might be? I have somewhat of a reason. I think that might be happening.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Showtime and PBC splitting.
That's the rumor right now.
Yeah,
it's Tank and Floyd and all of them.
So it could be two things. I feel like one, PBC might really be shopping for maybe they see a bigger deal because it is a rumor they might try to do a deal with Amazon, which is
the biggest company in the fucking world.
Yeah. Jesus. So that would be interesting because like we said, that's Amazon, yo. Like, so they might do all type of wild stuff with promoting and putting their joint out and streaming it and all of that type of stuff. So that would be interesting if it happens like that. We've never really watched stuff on Amazon for we just getting used to football and
they
sports
introducing
now.
it. They trying.
I know the NBA is about to. They did their deal with Max, so we starting to see this more and more now.
With that.
And then so like Showtime, but I think Showtime is under Paramount if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. So it's a lot of stuff happening with the streaming world right now. My only other theory might be they might not be making the money they thinking they're supposed to be making for what they invested. What's the name? One of my biggest issues with the PBC fighters, and this is why some of them, when they've been going and fighting other dudes, been getting slapped up. They don't fight enough.
Yeah.
These guys...
And they don't fight the best talent.
I think they've been
division.
very comfortable with the money they're making, and they've been, a lot of them been, I don't want to do, but they kind of been late. Like, I think they just be chilling. Like... And that's why, like, you have to be active in boxing. That doesn't mean you got to be, like, early in your career when you're fighting every month. But, like, you got to have at least 2 fights a year. Some of these dudes don't fight for 2 years.
And with PBC
versus, and a half,
even though
like
they don't
crazy.
pay them well, ESPN Plus, like, talent-wise fights, think about the undercards that we get on the ESPN Plus joint.
We really good.
Everybody can fight.
And they stay active.
So
those guys
not
are
so
active.
much, nigga. If it's a Tank fight, you gonna be like, who the fuck is these niggas?
This is what one thing I respect about Canelo, right?
The undercards.
I definitely respect is people will pick apart, oh, he might not fight Benavidez. He fought some other random dude in between a big fight. But one thing is he's active. Mm-hmm. And I always said, if you're active, I'm not gonna kill every opponent you fought. Like, you don't have to fight a killer every time. That's kind of crazy. If you're active, you can pick just a rank guy or somebody in between. Like, I don't have an issue with that as long as it's not like you giving us that fight after you not fighting for 10 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a year and a half. Like, but if you fighting, several times within 2 years, like, I don't get a fight in between. That's boxing. Sometimes the history of boxing, you don't always got to fight killer back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
No.
So
that's not even smart.
The PBC dudes, like, I love Deontay Wilder, but like, he fought Helenius since the Tyson Fury fight. He's had 1 round of boxing and didn't even complete it, and that was Helenius. Tyson Fury done fought like once, maybe twice since then, but he's even with the Ngannou fight.
Something.
That's something. He's just staying busy. Like, we can say whatever we want about Joshua, but Joshua's staying busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets dangerous. The older you get, you can't be inactive like that. It's very dangerous.
You old as shit by the time you get back.
Earl start in general.
Exactly. Earl Spence. You can't go into the biggest fight of your life after a long layoff like that against a guy who's waited his whole life for this fight and is mad nice.
Fighting like a year and a half.
Like, I know why he didn't fight Keith Thurman, but he needed to fight Keith Thurman in between. He needed a fight. He needed a fight. I'm not saying he would have won, but he was that late. You're rusty and you're fighting a guy who's coming to destroy you and is mad nice. Like, it was bad. That was a bad decision. Like, across the board.
My bad.
Somebody else got beat up pretty badly. I don't want to run down the fights, but they had a long layoff. So you can't run into these big fights with long layoffs and the other person been active. You're going to get slapped up.
Yeah.
So I think that could be an issue. But we're going to see because it's going to get real interesting. PBC still got a lot of good fighters. Got some young fighters coming up and all of that. Some Boots and Tank alone can be massive names. Just them two. They got Ryan Garcia. They just got Canelo to come through. You still got Deontay. They still got a lot of fighters.
I think they told Nello they about to give him the bag. That's why the
been
Charlo
giving
fight
him the
was
bag.
so theatrical.
Why you think he's
But that
dead?
was a theatrical fight.
Yeah, that was
if you
crazy,
think about it, yo.
That was.
It was because there was some rounds where he just like came in like I'm like Canelo. I haven't seen that since Spike TV, yo. Like
that
he was doing like all his old moves.
He was just.
I'm like, yo, he don't even got his guard up.
Are you
He's
saying
not
it was
throwing
looking like
jabs.
choreography, yo?
I'm just saying I've watched a lot of boxing, yo, and I've seen chippy fights and Canelo can win them, but that was a little theatrical to me. And I love Canelo.
Yeah. Canelo's an excellent fighter, man.
And,
Whatever you
but
say,
Charlo is not a bum.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, he's not a bum.
He had to have something to come back from that fight, though. Yeah. Niggas is upset with him after that.
I don't think he's going to come back to boxing. Like,
he's gonna fight, yo. He's trying to get this bread, yo.
His other brother.
where the bread going to come from after you do that?
They'll get
What
paid.
fight? He gonna
Somebody
get
will pay to fight, watch him fight.
But you
That's
talking
a
about
fact.
Jamel, right?
The one that just fought Canelo?
Yeah, that Bud fight is dead. People who want to see Bud slap him up, yo. Like,
I feel like Bud is
He got 2
above
L's
that
now, though, right? 2 L's?
To be honest, Bud is above that. He can fight a
it's a
lot
big
of
fight
other
with Bud.
niggas
It's
that
still
would be
it's
like,
still
oh my God.
think it's
his
just the hype
options aren't that
around it.
crazy.
The
For
hype
money
around
fights.
it, I think it still would draw.
Yo, when you tell a man SMD during the fight while you slapping up his
Mid-fight.
homeboy, yo, that's
I think it
Then
would be
you go
bigger.
to the
I
fight.
think it would be bigger for Bud to fight fucking Earl Spence again.
Well, we know that.
we'll see.
We
We'll
know
see.
that.
It'll be a bigger fight to do.
I don't
that
know,
again,
because-
if you're talking money,
Because you know how what's his name was very he turned into a very nice guy. Charlo went with Canelo. He didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
He's going to sell that fight. He's going to be talking. They're going to sell that fight. They're going to sell that fight, Mike. And it's for undisputed again for third. That might do more. Well, he
Nah, 'cause
tainted
Earl
it
got
with
his
his last.
ass
He
beat.
tainted it with that.
Imagine
It did
if,
hurt.
I don't know. It's
his
interesting.
value definitely
He messed
dropped.
his value up.
But
That's
imagine
dumb.
if-
That's not thinking long term. That's what he wasn't. When you don't think long term, you mess up yourself in the long.
He was looking
run,
for
you know?
that bag.
Imagine if Earl could cop a plea before the fight. Man, I had whatever going on health wise, and now I'm back at my healthy weight.
I hope he
feel
doesn't do
better.
that,
I
though.
just that. But it would sell the shit out that fight. Cause there's a lot of niggas that was putting that bread on Earl. I was Earl big. Earl could do this, that.
I don't think he would
I'm
do
telling
that.
you.
I don't think he would do
He
that.
wouldn't
Earl
do
wouldn't
that.
He has
Earl wouldn't.
He wouldn't do that, but
Because he could have gave 1,000.
But I'm saying if we just
He
going
would've
for the
said it.
money
he was like,
bag,
nah, this guy
He
slapped
would
up.
have said
yo.
it by that. I mean, it was evident.
He was like, I got slapped
There
up,
wasn't
yo.
shit he could say about that from
I
that
don't
fight.
know. He looked a little slippery out there. More slippery
He
than
needed
usual.
he needed a fight or two in between, yo.
I told you what it was.
Oh yeah, I keep
Yeah,
forgetting
fighting two in
the
between.
distance between fights
Yeah,
between
he
that
had
one
he
and
had
his
for
last
August.
one.
That was a while before that, yo. Like
that. And when you
August
not-
was like maybe a
he
year.
came
and a
back
half
and looked like he
before
was
that.
5 years older. He had a bush and like
make sure,
it was a while
make
in
sure
between that fight.
HBO, I mean Showtime or whoever is chopping up the shit with the pre shit. Make sure they show you boxing in there. You know? For some reason, that just helps them.
Earl
win.
gonna be in there on the Rocky.
Yeah, you need to. All I need to see you doing is boxing shit, like somewhere around boxing. Because if you don't show that, you gonna lose.
Yeah, that might be a fact.